Hi everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Outdoor Home Cooking Show, Fall Feast Edition. You're going to see everything from turkey to the sides, and today, one of my favorite desserts with a twist. This has become a favorite in my home for the holidays, whether it's Thanksgiving, Christmas, or even both. One of the things I like about it is the addition of cream cheese. It has a smooth, creamy texture that makes it a bit different than your traditional pumpkin pie. And in fact, my wife, who really isn't a pumpkin pie fan, loves this recipe. So let's get started. The first thing we would like to do is have an 8-ounce package of softened cream cheese. You want to leave that on your counter for a little bit so it's easier to blend. If you forget, no worries. You can microwave it at a lower power setting for just a little while. We're going to give this a quick blend. From here, we are going to add either 2 small cans, or in this case, 1 large can of pumpkin puree. Make sure you're using 100% pumpkin and not pumpkin pie film. You're going to want to have a rubber spatula to get everything out of that can, scraping down the sides and the bottom. I like to leave the can on my counter as I'm working because I'm going to use that spatula from time to time throughout the process. We're going to give this a blend until everything is mixed together. Going to pull a little bit of that cream cheese off the sides of the bowl, just so everything gets mixed in nice and evenly. There's still plenty of mixing to go, so you don't have to worry if you don't get all that done on this step. Okay, from here we're going to add 1 cup of sugar and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Don't run this on high or you're going to have sugar flying everywhere. Pretty easy peasy so far. Up next, we're going to take 1 egg plus the yolks from 2 additional eggs. Lightly beat those. You can use a fork or a whisk. Add that into our mixing bowl, along with a 1/2 cup, a half and half, and a 1/4 cup or 1/2 stick of melted butter. Now this is another thing I like about this recipe. You're going to buy a carton of 1/2 and half. You're going to have a lot left over, so what better time to pick up some Kahlua while you're at it? Have some White Russians for Thanksgiving evening, right? Or morning. Depends on how you roll, right? Kind of give this one last pull away from the sides of the bowl. We're going to bring it down the home stretch. Finally, we're going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, a 1/2 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, and a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. A final mix and we're ready to go. That should just about do it, and that brings me to my next favorite thing about this recipe, and that is the fact that it yields not one, but 2 pies. So perfect. You're making one for home, one to take to a holiday gathering elsewhere. Typically, I make this recipe Wednesday evening before Thanksgiving because you're going to want this to set up in the fridge after they bake. And then guess what I'm having for breakfast on Thanksgiving morning? Pumpkin pie. That is correct. Give it a try. That could become a holiday tradition of yours. I know it is mine. Just kind of evenly divide that up. We don't have to measure this part. One gets a little more than the other. No worries there. They're going to turn out great, I promise. Looking good. From here, let's transfer that to our big green egg. Like I said, that's set up and locked in at 350 degrees. Today I'm using the 2-tier multi-level rack. Since my big green egg is like a convection oven, it gives me the ability to cook 2 pies at once. We're going to let these sit in the egg 350 for 50 to 60 minutes, and we'll back and check on them in just a bit. Hi everyone, we're back. It's time to remove our pies from the big green egg. Still locked in at 350. They've cooked about 60 minutes. As you can see, I'm using the convector basket and the 2-tier multi-level rack. That enables me to do 2 pies at once. I'm going to give those a little transfer to our counter area. Rocking those oven mitts as well. Now we're going to chill these overnight to help your pies set. They are delicious, either chilled or at room temperature. You can also serve them with a whipped topping if you so desire. That's it. I hope you like them as much as I do. Thank you again for tuning in to an episode of the Outdoor Home Cooking Show, Fall Feast Edition. We'll see you next time.